Policechase happening right now.
Wait, really?
Link.
LA again?
Okay.
Traffic that CHP
Oh, hell yeah!
was on just a few vehicles behind, and now this is the southbound side.
Hey,
of
yo!
Coming away from Washington Boulevard in that buffer zone, that gore point, that narrow area, and he's just trying to get around every vehicle, trying to avoid law enforcement. There's a
no, I mean, hell no, this is dangerous.
Well above at a very low.
Listen, chat, guys, before you watch this, guys, I'm telling you guys, okay? I am not encouraging, okay, or condoning the actions on screen, okay? If I say, holy shit, Pog, it's because of its implication in its current setting. I don't give a fuck, okay? I get it, people are at risk, but it doesn't, like, take away from the fact that something can be something without it being dangerous or putting people at risk.
Like this, do the best you can. You can't do it here in this type of traffic. Try to pull to the right.
Guys, is this in LA?
Give law enforcement plenty of space. Make it safe for yourself. Don't try to be a hero.
Well, when we talk about strategies to bring this to an end, because there does come a point, Rick,
this guy is based at he has his hazards on. That's respect. That's respect. Just for that though, I only respect the hazards on it.
Getaway Tuesday. So now it seems that the strategy here for law enforcement is to continue pursuing.
Respect, yes.
Even if they do back off.
What?
From the ground, they do have that.
It's a small touch,
and so they will continue to
I
track
only
the
respect
suspect,
that fact. The rest is all bullshit.
Give them the indication
This
that
chat's fucking dumb.
so as to not endanger more people than they really need to.
And traffic's going to be bad this entire stretch of the 710. There may be areas where it loosens up a little bit, like right here, but I see some more backups, some stop-and-go action coming up ahead. Atlantic Bandini, this is a busy industrial stretch of the Los Angeles Basin, adjacent to the LA River.
Chat,
the LA
guys,
River being on the right.
That's why I always say, okay,
of this area of the 710 freeway south.
the way things get publicized, okay, and the coverage that it's given and how they do it drastically affects the fact that it will happen again from other people. With a lot of other things, it's a psychological thing. I've seen documentaries about it. I've seen top-tier psychoanalysts about this. It's extremely important, but society is too fucking stupid to understand it. Nobody gives a fuck. And that applies, I'm sorry to say this, I know I don't want to be too real, shootings and stuff like that. Yes. Why do you think we got 4 chases in 1 week? I've never had a lot of chases on air.
From work, like a regular day, or from school,
it's a thing. Watch documentaries about it. It's a thing.
Tonight, people going out to do their holiday shopping, potentially, all mixed on our Southern California freeways.
We've had 4 or 5 chases this week, and they rarely happen.
You know, face to face with this vehicle that is driving through traffic. It is challenging, Marla, to your point. If you're law enforcement, do you try to weave your vehicle through this like Frogger game that's happening right now with this car going in and out of traffic, or are you potentially putting people in danger in trying to do it? It is remarkable so far, Marla, that we have not seen this car visibly damage another vehicle.
Yeah, my Spotify is glitched. I can't close it.
Barely clipped one of these vehicles, but given the maneuvers that we've seen so far, it's quite something that a car hasn't been badly hit.
And then, Rick, when we're so close to the shot like this, you can see the night sun from authorities above, shining the light there on it, noting that this vehicle has its hazards flashing all the while. It's hard to get a sense of the backlog of law enforcement officers because we can't see what's trailing, so it's hard to see if there are tons.
I'm not hyping up a police chase like that. My Spotify's bugged.
They're gonna think about bringing this to an end because they strategize, Rick, about maybe we'll do some spike strips ahead. Maybe we'll, obviously it's too dangerous for a pit maneuver, so on and so forth. But I guess the idea would be to get this guy off the busy freeway and onto surface streets, perhaps.
That's right. 710 southbound, by the way, if you're just tuning in now at Firestone Boulevard. We saw this pursuit on the 10 freeway.
Everyone in answer for this?
Transition onto the southbound side of the
whole pity for this?
Near California State University, Los Angeles, for a time driving the wrong way.
Really
on
did.
Off-ramps, but making their way on the freeway, this suspect did on the off-ramp there on the 10 freeway, and then went down an on-ramp area, picking up the southbound side of the 710, and that's where we picked this up at this point. In fact, here it is. This is the point I was just making. That's an off-ramp there. That's an off-ramp from the 10 freeway westbound, driving against traffic. Even a CHP or law enforcement unit right there, a cruiser, they decided to off-road it there, make its way down the bank, and then get onto
off-road strats
off-ramp there and make the transition over to the southbound side.
Hey, here's what it is, boys. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
Towards the 60, down towards the Commerce area, Atlantic Bandini, now into the Cudahy area, upper left corner.
Shit!
That's live. The big right box there on the side of your screen. That was that dramatic move that we just spoke of.
All right, looks like we're getting off the freeway here, Marla.
But this is it.
Swap! He's swapping! Hey!
1, 2, 3, exit. Right there. And now we've picked it up live on the smaller screen there. So you saw those 3 suspects get out of the
red garage swap.
And we assume that is just yeah, that was just a tight squeeze there off the onto
Hey,
this
yo!
here. This is what Firestone Boulevard, State Route 42, the Southgate, East Los Angeles.
The bike's
area.
scuffed.
So, yes, 3 people got out of the vehicle at one point. We assume that
the
driver,
fucking bike's
that's all we can do at this
scuffed.
point in time. We do have Dennis Zine on the line with us, who, of course, is years of experience chasing these bad guys on the streets. Dennis, thanks so much for being with us. What do you make of this? And given how busy the roads are now that we are on a service street, nonetheless, what is the best strategy for law enforcement?
Well, the best strategy is to protect the public, and that's
good take it.
Protect the public.
Good take it.
Ultimate cost. You don't want to injure the public. You don't want the individual that's being chased to hurt anyone, getting involved in a collision. So jeopardy is of great concern, and they emphasize that over and over on pursuits. Is make sure the public's safe, and you have to go into a tracking mode. Go into a tracking mode. You got an area.
Come get a +1. They are NVL. Yeah, of course.
Safety. They want to apprehend the individual.
Okay.
Against traffic.
We're going again wrong way.
And trying to
get Damn!
That was another close call there on Firestone Boulevard. This is a busy industrial area. Firestone Boulevard, an east and west major thoroughfare off the 710 freeway. And he made his way west on Firestone Boulevard from the 710 freeway. Dangerous moves again, but as you had mentioned, Alex, it's amazing. We haven't seen any major strikes, meaning that suspect has, you know, gingerly skidded between other vehicles. But we have not seen any
the car chase
impact yet, thankfully. So hopefully nobody has been injured in this.
Quite a skilled
Technically,
driver, that we've seen so far.
People
Dennis,
really get away, but they could.
Yes.
If they strategize it properly.
The challenge of this much traffic, because this is one of the busiest days of the entire year on the roads. He's right in the middle of rush hour when this is happening. How does that change what LAPD does?
I am not condoning these actions,
again, is the concern,
but
we'll let the individual flee,
some counties and places have rules against car chases in dense areas, and they don't chase, right? Let's say you do some tricks, you're under the highway, send it to a place that's like that, right? Do that, create some gap, get back onto the freeway, and fucking send it, because all you have to do is outrun the helicopter at that point, and then boom.
Cause damage or injury.
You just send it. Boom.
Person. As we see what's happening with this, if we had a motor officer may
but don't do that though. I'm saying in GTA is what I do.
But the fact is, this particular situation with the traffic.
Yeah, well, I just said it's in Grand Theft Auto 5, game by Rockstar Games. We do RP on 5M.
That's what you need to do to track them.
I mean, it's very dangerous, though, considering that this person has repeatedly driven the wrong way against traffic and has made some wild moves.
Obviously, they're wanted for some serious charges. They wouldn't be driving in this manner. But the more pursuits we see, the more ridiculous they get. Again, another jeopardy of public safety.
Jesus! I mean, this guy's bumper chasing. Like, chill out, bro.
So what is?
Like, what are you doing?
You've done this for so many years
He's
yourself.
so ego. Like, holy
right
fuck!
Do you think it's more appropriate to back off as the driver's now picking up some speed here?
Well, they're going to back off, but they'll have.
Fuck NPCs! You're not the main character, little bro. You are not the main character. Jesus Christ, this guy.
In a bizarre fashion, we've got 3 people who fled. There'll be units chasing those individuals. Hopefully, there'll be multiple air units overhead. But this individual's wanted for something very serious. They're not just a traffic violation. They're wanted for something very serious to drive in this pattern, this behavior pattern, which is extremely.
He needs to put his hazards back on.
But again, the units want to protect public safety. They want to.
He needs to put the hazards back on.
At the same time, they don't want an innocent person getting hurt.
And one more thing, Dennis, before we let you go, what did you make of that maneuver when 3 people jumped out of the vehicle on the freeway and started running.
They probably got caught.
Well, obviously they were talking it's time to split, so let's get out and we'll let the driver continue. There may just be the driver, may have a passenger or two. But
they usually do.
It reminds me of the smash and grab. This is the kind of situation where you got multiple suspects getting a smash and grab. A lot of jewelry.
LA traffic. I mean, bro, this is predictable.
I don't know what the pursuit is for.
He's done.
Maybe, well, they say it's a stolen car, but
the best you can do at this point is open up Google Maps, have a friend on call. I don't give him strats. He's probably sniping. I'm not going to give him strats.
Thank you so much for your insights. And I just want to correct the record. I was saying LAPD. This is right now being led by the Sheriff's Department, the LA County Sheriff's Department taking the lead on this pursuit. Been tough for us to tell because we haven't seen any of the vehicles close behind this vehicle for some time now, Marla.
Damn it, yeah, he's done.
To your point, though, when we're on the,
I mean,
Rick, you can back
the
me
problem
up.
with this though is that cops are gonna get ahead, now, and there's gonna have every intersection with at least one unit on it, and they gotta either spike it or do something about it. Like. It's GG's. These guys should have known that. What boulevard is this? Firestone and Ben. I don't know what this is at.
Firestone Boulevard. Having exited the southbound side of the 710, it appeared to me that there was some CHP units involved at some time, but there's a large area of the Los Angeles basin and the greater Los Angeles area that the policing comes from the Sheriff's Department. Making a right, which would make it mostly a northbound turn there off of Firestone Boulevard onto Otis Street, now picking up speed. We saw that backup, Alex and Marla, on the southbound side of the 710 freeway against traffic again there, traveling northbound and southbound lanes. He saw that backup and didn't want any part of it, so exited the southbound side of the 710 at Firestone Boulevard, then onto Otis Street, now making a left-hand turn, which is a westbound turn onto Independence Avenue. A busy mixed area as I look at my real-time traffic system and maps here. Residential, apartments, single-family homes, and some industrial complexes.
He's sending it
mixed in with some
retail units.
And we're seeing those speeds now pick up above 50 miles per hour just a moment ago. It looks like crossing through an intersection.
Red light.
Going through a red light, and Rick, you always point out that every infraction is taken note of.
That's right.
By law enforcement because they are keeping track. It's hard to keep track though when there are so many infractions.
The most recent pursuit that you know, with all my years flying up in Skyfox and covering these pursuits about 20 years. The one that we saw with the multiple stolen vehicles, that one was definitely one where that driver, already a felon, racked up a number of other felonies in that process there. So
allegedly,
right.
Allegedly,
they can knock that down. They can add up as much as they can to push the charges.
Watch your words, Fox guy. Watch your fucking words, man. This could be slander, yo.
That there's they catch him, they put him in jail, and
allegedly
on the same day or
what
night.
If the person's experiencing delirium or something?
Okay, foot bail, left.
Oh, hey, bike swap.
Driver's going on the corner of Elizabeth and Liberty
in the dark,
in the Southgate area.
In the dark,
well illuminated area here, and there he's on the run. He is on the run. Now this is where we get.
What is he doing? What is he doing?
There was no
what is he doing?
To actually exit the vehicle. But this is the situation we saw with that pursuit. Going to a home, you know, perhaps, and having an altercation.
What the fuck is he doing?
With the homeowners, the people residing in that unit. Yep. This is so dangerous. We don't know, Alex and Marla, if this individual is armed. Police have to assume that they are.
And we also don't know if this person has a connection to this neighborhood or not, or if this was just randomly the place where they chose to foot bail. We understand that the vehicle itself kept moving and crashed into a tree.
Where is he?
So there was nobody else apparently in that
vehicle. Good.
And now this suspect, and if you know anybody that lives in this area, please give them a call.
Wait! What is that?
Windows locked, because this is very dangerous. We saw during that pursuit recently that Rick was mentioning a similar situation to this, where the suspect got into a home, stole car keys, grabbed another vehicle, and got away.
Did it.
So we hope that a similar situation doesn't happen here. We also don't know, Rick.
That is absolutely cooked, though.
Armed.
That's right. You see a lot of activity in that home there on the far left side of your screen. Law enforcement has to assume they are.
I get it.
But if you live anywhere
They're already
near,
criminals
again,
by
we
doing
will
crimes
reiterate this, Elizabeth
in the
and
street
Liberty,
by putting people at danger.
stay inside,
I think there's a
doors
different,
and
it's a different
windows
tier
locked.
of things
Keep
to
your phone
go to somebody's house like that and give them
911 if you see
trauma and
anything
fucking.
on your property
That's
there.
that's
But a lot
not
of
right, man.
areas to hide.
What?
The night sun is on
It's
this
completely
area. As you can see there,
trash.
looking for that suspect. Some movement there in the back of that house with the windows on. We just saw that. Unclear if that's related to that suspect on the run. 4 people inside. It appears that they were all males. 4 males.
Little crime has
inside
content,
that
bad chest. Relax, man.
stolen
Relax,
vehicle.
man.
That's
Relax.
why they were pursuing this individual. Unclear what happened with that incident, how it really started. If they were just going to try to do a traffic stop, they ran the plates. That vehicle came back as stolen, and the pursuit was on.
The problem with that is that
online.
the helicopter had the angle
to be inside that vehicle.
like
You
that,
saw the foot bail
right?
of the 3
And the guy was behind a brick wall, right?
20 minutes
So he could have
ago
been
or so.
anywhere.
And now we just
by the
saw
time that the heli swap
driver
positions to get the
come
other
in
angle
that
for the light,
vehicle,
the guy's gone.
Pop out of the vehicle. There it is, right there on the corner. There it is. We'll show that to you. And we're hearing nobody was hit, thankfully. But they
Looks
got
like
that
it
scene.
ended up on the sidewalk and
Wait,
some
wait.
bushes. We're hearing that the sheriff's deputies down below were able to clear the vehicle, so that would be considered a code 4, where the vehicle, we know that no one else is in it. They've looked in the trunk. They've made sure. In the meantime,
That's all of
search is
them.
on for the driver. It's difficult. I mean, even with the night sun, with the shadows, and it's confusing. And then this is also
They're gonna
where
make
you
a
can
perimeter.
identify when if there's somebody innocent just in their backyard this time of night. It's not late. It's 5:30 in the afternoon.
And human nature would be, oh my God, there's all these helicopters in my neighborhood.
Right.
I hear all these sounds. I want to see what's going on. Right?
Chat, what if you
And
get on
then
your
some
roof
people may
right now
just look outside
and you put a
and
big
try to
ass
figure out
sign,
what's
right?
happening in their neighborhood. It's
and
interesting.
you plug your
that of
Instagram
all
with
the
spray
places
paint.
We were on this pursuit. This was among the darkest areas where this person chose to stash their vehicle. Another danger, Marla, in being in, quote unquote tracking mode for the sheriff's deputies is there weren't a bunch of vehicles right behind this car. So when this guy gets out of the car and goes on the run, there's nobody right there to stop him.
Wait a minute.
And
Hold
so
up.
he's able to get out of the vehicle and essentially, potentially
Wait,
hide in
what's the
these,
hell he doing?
Homes.
And what we just
Weren't they
showed
looking
you
at all?
on the bigger portion of your screen was earlier.
They do have
in the
thermals. They
pursuit
actually do. They
when
do.
The driver was going the wrong way, and then down a hillside, sparked some flames, and then carried on. And that
Not
was one
them,
of
the police,
more
they do.
memorable moments of the pursuit. There was also the
You would
moment
be
of
surprised
that
at how
those 3
broken
passengers'
thermals are in real
foot
life,
bail.
man.
Right,
This is what happens.
Yeah, that's where this is coming up right here on this on-ramp. You'll see 3 individuals take off, get out of the car, and then that's when this pursuit carried on. See that passenger
Off
door
the
open.
710.
1, 2,
3.
3. There you go.
All appeared to be males. Unclear, but 4 people
Don't-
inside that vehicle.
hey, don't
The
assume,
driver
don't
continued
assume.
on. Those 3
Hey, this Fox
passengers
News guy, man.
bounced
I
out and we're on the run.
Yo.
Unclear if they were apprehended yet. Now they're just searching
He
this
literally
neighborhood.
ran
Again,
to
with our Extreme
apartments
Nav
and
system,
locked.
always on it
That's
for
at
you here
least a
at
7
Fox
day.
11 with Skyfox and our technology. Elizabeth Avenue at Liberty Boulevard here. If you're anywhere near this area, if you live in this area, you can see all the law enforcement. Doors and windows locked. Keep it low.
My
keep
man
it
did
quiet.
it.
If you see
As long as
anything
Duke
on or
keeps
near your
moving and
property,
doesn't try
call
to shelter
911
in some
immediately
backyard, he's
and
going.
alert these deputies.
Well,
the Los
technically,
Angeles County
he
Sheriff's-
goes in a house
Sheriff's
that's
Deputy
vacant
Department. If
without
there was a
breaking
lead
in.
agency with this stolen
I mean, it's
vehicle,
GG, right?
We haven't ascertained that yet, but they could be on it as well. I know that CHP was on it for a time, but you could see they're setting up that perimeter. We use that term
What do you mean, no?
There's the law enforcement helicopter there crossing our screen. We talk about perimeters with wildfire, setting that line, that circle around the danger zone. And that's what they're doing in this neighborhood, setting up units in and around the neighborhood, trying to
Oh, the
seal off
dog.
that area so
The
that
dog.
suspect can't leave that area, and they can
You're right, they have the
contain
car.
that
They can make this
individual
dog smell
in
the
this
seat and
neighborhood
go
in
find him.
Southgate.
So this could take a long time. It could take hours to try to go through every one of these places door to door, make sure that the deputies themselves don't put themselves in danger, especially not.
I don't think
knowing
you
if this
understand how
person is armed.
broken dogs are IRL
We are
as well.
going to monitor this. Skyfox is staying above this. If we get some resolution here, we will go back as soon as we get that resolution. In the meantime.
Wait a minute, did they get him? Yo? Oh, there's 12 cameras.
Hi.
Looking at each property, have a better idea of which property he's at, which we believe we do. We
Yo
believe that
X,
he's in
please
this one.
watch this
Then,
insane
they can
police
start
car
focusing their
chase of
attention on
2
that
armed
particular
robbers.
home,
Short
bring the
clip
police
only
canine to the
50
front of that
seconds.
property,
Some
set up,
real
some
RP
deputies
shit.
around
Bro,
the
watching this, man. Watching this, but chill out.
neighboring properties, and just wait for the guy to come out.
707 is fully engulfed. I can't get in. There's a 3-year-old in the back bedroom.
What is this? They stopped the broadcast then.
Yeah, at this across the police scanner, what we had heard was that it was a vehicle that was taken in a car theft out of Lakewood, which is the sheriff's territory, and it was found in the Temple City area, and that is where they tried to pull the vehicle over, but the driver took off, and when he got to East Los Angeles, he let the passengers out of the car but continued on. However, it is unclear at this point if this vehicle was taken in some sort of armed carjacking.
Chat, how many helicopters do they have in the air?
That he is armed in any way, but of course they're going to treat it as
bro, this airspace is fucking stacked.
You know, as you focus in on that house, I'm trying to see if deputies are still setting up their perimeter, or are they actually moving towards that home at this point?
At least the helicopters from PD
just looking
and
around,
two news ones.
just kind of standing their guard.
That's just annoying.
Up the perimeter, because really time is on the side of the deputies at this point. There's no point in rushing it. So what they want to do is
they're
just
far
get
away.
all of the area locked down. They'll get a police canine over here as well, just in case his services are needed down the line. And once they feel comfortable, that's when they'll start approaching the property. But you can see that additional deputies are coming to the scene.
Well, Eliana,
they're cleaning every car.
Coverage so far, and if they find that suspect, you let us know, and we'll get right back to you live. But for now, it pretty much.
I'm not siding with the criminals. I'm getting commentary, but dumbass.
Waiting it out. So we'll continue with the news. We want to go to a story now that was really an unthinkable crime when this happened last February during a robbery that involved.
Whoa! Chill.
A skateboard.
To isolate him, so we'll see how they decide to handle this, but I can tell you right now they've got the 4 corners blocked off. They're going to need a few more to start searching for the suspect.
Got it. Okay, so Chris, hang with us here because we actually have 2 breaking news stories going on as we speak. So
wait, 2 of them.
Air 7 is up by Van Nuys Airport, and Chris, you're obviously very familiar with that. They're getting word of a Cessna that can't get its nose gear down. And it's making a low pass right now. I don't know if that is okay. Obviously, that's the airport on the right-hand side of your screen, folks. If you're watching right now, and there's the emergency units waiting just
double stories.
From what we understand, the plane is making a low pass right now. Keep in mind, it can't get its nose gear down. So if it touches down and the nose of the plane touches down,
he's gonna do a wheelie,
or it could be a crash. It just
we've seen this before. He's gonna do a wheelie as long as he can until he lets it hit the ground.
So we'll watch it closely.
I'm not kidding you.
It does.
You'll see him.
That is the plane, from what I had, and it's hard to totally see the gear.
I'm not kidding you.
Giovanni, can you detect if that is the nose?
I don't think I'm being insensitive. When I've seen those before. I've seen a bunch of them.
And Chris, we're going to come back to you in a second. I know you, and yell when you have seen something significant. Okay, it's a little bit more focused. Yes, no nose gear, and this is not a Cessna. It looks like a private jet.
Yeah. Jesus! Wait, this is insane. Hey, yo.
Prop plane.
This is really scary.
And you can see there is no nose gear.
Yeah, now I see it.
So now we're watching this. He's just allegedly making a pass at the airport. So it's checking it out. Maybe this is an opportunity for people on the ground to take a good look at this airplane to see if it does, in fact, have a nose gear problem. And according to what we can see with our own eyes, it appears that it does have a problem. So now it's going to pass through, perhaps lift up a little bit further and do another pass, is our assumption. But we're going to continue to watch this. This
is he still trying to fix it?
Airport. This Cessna jet is trying to figure out.
And he's got this. I believe it.
Because the nose gear is not down.
Yeah, and there are, as you
chat, is there any pilot experts? Is it much of a difference between a big plane and a small plane when it comes down to doing the wheelie strat and hitting the ground?
You know, help anyone. Hopefully,
is it much different?
Safely.
The physics of it?
On the left of your screen,
it is.
Back to the breaking news. The end of
I think it's more fragile.
Well, the
and it has less to go on before it busts up the actual plane.
A pretty large perimeter has been set up by the LA County Sheriff's there, and Chris
you'll be fine.
Over the scene. Chris, anything new?
Yeah, it's an entire square block here that's been cordoned off. Right now, only the four corners, so I don't think that he's had an opportunity quite yet to get out of the situation.
This camera work is insane.
Still plenty more law enforcement making their way into the area. We believe he's hiding out somewhere in the vicinity of that property right there that you're looking at along Virginia Avenue. We have not seen that couple come back out yet, but obviously you could see still very dark out there.
I actually like LA though.
I like means there's even more opportunities for him to hide out. You can see that
there's different depths that people build the houses at, like in the hills, on the mountains and shit, on the cliffs. It's kind of chill.
And actually moving that night sun a little bit further to the south, so not sure if he's picking up a signature a ways away from that home or whether he's just moving around.
Who linked this? What is this live, you fucking moron?
I believe they've already called out for a canine unit. Again, more backup.
This is Sleeper. Some guy who just committed multiple felonies is on the run, hiding and getting shit like, but the whole PD in Air 1. This is a fucking dying down airplane with no fucking front loading gears about to fucking land at an airport with a bunch of fucking people waiting to fucking extinguish the fire. Holy shit, man. Instead, you play solitaire. Shut up, dumb fuck.
Staying inside their homes and locking their doors and their windows. And, you know, sometimes when there's a pursuit or police activity, people tend to go outside. They want to see what's happening. Hopefully, people are watching us and listening and staying indoors and away from this area. We don't know what this guy's capable of.
What if you push him off his bike and you get his bike in? You're just a biker now.
And what's going on over at the Van Nuys Airport, that's what you see on your right-hand side. That Cessna citation apparently has been circling the airport for 45 minutes while they try to figure out what to do. It did do a low pass as people can get a good look at that landing gear on the nose, and it did not come down. So now it's circling back around the airport. So we are continuing to watch that situation. It doesn't seem like it's approaching just yet, but it might be a minute or two away. We're going to continue to watch that situation as well. So we got a couple of breaking news situations.
Could they not put something on the airstrip to help?
And by the way, Chris, this neighborhood, where
like some solution on the ground that makes it so it won't catch on fire or something like that. Like some foam.
The Southgate area, and I believe that Southgate Police Department that's formed that perimeter.
Imagine you could put a big ass layer of foam on it, and as the plane gets into it, it lowers the temperature of the front nose and extinguishes the fire buildup.
But we have to be honest and say that in the last 10 minutes, there's lots of opportunity for him to move around without any coordinated search going on just yet. So it'll be tricky if they only have a handful of officers at their disposal for the time being. I'm sure there are more on the way out here, but it's taking a little bit, as it often does, and that is providing lots of opportunity for the suspect to either look for a hiding spot.
They used to, but it's not effective, is it not? Why not?
Even get out of this area altogether. So we'll be up here. We'll try and follow this and hopefully have an update for you. But right now, it's a wait and see as they try and get more backup and potentially the SWAT team in the area.
And Chris, have you seen the couple that went into that original structure where we saw the,
I could think of something
break
for
into?
Sure.
Have you seen the couple, the man and woman?
Unfortunately, the last time we saw them, they were back in that guest house, which is where the suspect originally penetrated either through the window or the back door there after dumping the vehicle, which was very odd to begin with. You know, it was one thing to dump the vehicle, but he literally just
look at the dog right here, little doggy.
Crashed into the front gate, into the front yard of a random home, and then flew out of that vehicle, ran about a half a block in a matter
There's
of
5 aliens in the air. Show me the air map.
Area, and came through the back of that
show me the air map
there, and we just don't know whether he's still inside that building or whether he has already fled. So really, you know, lots of unknowns here.
Oh my God!
Limited personnel down there on the ground.
Christ!
To search for him. So this neighborhood, in due time,
guys, am I gonna self-dox if I show this?
Until they are confident that they have searched
the website. Does that self-dox or not?
Plane on approach again at Van Nuys Airport as it seems to be coming in. We don't know if it's going to land this time around, the Cessna citation. From what we understand, it's probably not landing yet.
Also, our producer telling us they're doing diagnostics on the plane, trying to determine what the next steps might be.
I don't see the helis though.
Hopefully, they have enough gas to be able to, go.
Oh, you can see the plane itself.
A passover.
I could see landing
Hold up, I'll show you
there. But
maybe they were able to get it down.
Were they able to get
I'm
it
scared
down?
Yeah, it does look like it is down.
Oh no, maybe that's an illusion. That's from the wing.
The other
on
side.
It is an illusion. Wait. Is he landing right now?
The nose is not
But they
down, but they're going low.
Down.
So we're going to watch this closely. It does look like it's going to make the attempt to touch down. Keep in mind, no nose landing gear.
Willie!
And look.
Hey, yes, I told you, he's willying.
A little bit. They're trying to keep the nose up.
And there it is.
Damn!
There it is. There's the sparks.
Yeah.
So the nose is down. It's sparking. They're trying to get the speed down as well, but it's going straight, which is a good move. That's a good sign. And keep in mind, emergency personnel, they're standing by. They're waiting for this plane to come in. They're going to be right there. If this
this guy's crazy.
They're going to be moving quickly, and it does come to a halt. So far, so good. There you see the reflection or the image of the pilot. He's moving quickly, trying to get to the door, and he's
even at the end. He didn't have any sparks.
That's the emergency personnel coming in. They're moving in quickly. Okay. There's a fire truck. There's the pilot. Is he on the ground? I guess he already got on the ground.
Hard to see.
Yep.
Holy Chad.
I don't know how many people are on this plane. So far, we've only seen one person, but it seems like he had a safe landing, a good job there. We did see the nose touch down quickly.
And we're seeing more people come off the plane now.
Okay. Yeah, there's another person there.
Yeah.
Boy, that's
so scary for them, I'm sure.
A harrowing moment there. With 2 people so far, but they seem very relieved. They're able to actually walk off that plane, and the nose did hit the ground, but it stayed straight, and so far, no fire.
No fire, landing safely, and we assume there were only 2 people on there. One of them, the pilot, is that right, David?
Chat, this is automatic, right?
And then one passenger.
The landing?
Boy, that's
this
going
guy
to be
did
a
it manually,
stressful
right?
situation, but it was a nice, perfect landing. They kept the airplane straight, and so far, so good over at Van Nuys Airport. Yeah. And now our attention moves back again to Southgate.
Chris, are you still with us? Any movements?
Yeah, we're still seeing that Los Angeles County helicopter right over that same property where the light just went on.
Is there an air map of all the helis in there? Do they have it?
It was a resident or
perhaps an
officer. That's a resident. It's going back into that same back house.
And another person there.
And another person there. It's hard to say who's who here, I've got to be honest, but not sure if that person right there is the suspect or one of the other residents who ran back there when this all started. But in any event, we still see that night sun focused on this property. Whether somebody's trying to guide him in or what, we just don't know.
And this guy's waving at the chopper. And I'm sorry to interrupt, but I mean, the other possibility we're not talking about here, possibility, slight perhaps, but maybe this guy lives here.
Turn on the south box.
Family who are trying to intervene and mediate. I mean, we don't know. This is all speculation.
It did look like he was waving at somebody. It looked like he was waving at a chopper.
There's a child there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like the whole family's back there. Have a child back there. We saw another woman walk back there, and it looks like 2 men who are almost seeking shelter in that back house. Because obviously, if there was a suspect, they would know it already. You would imagine if the suspect was in that back house.
Wait, what is it?
Believe that most likely he was able to get away from that building, whether he's in the main house.
I thought they were saying I'm not allowed to do that. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Property really is anybody's. Surmising from what we're seeing up here, as the family does not appear to be all that freaked out. Yeah, they're just kind of walking around their backyard.
Another thing that, sorry, again, I'm sorry to interrupt, but David mentioned earlier, it did appear that
URL?
Slowed the car down, jumped out of the car, and let it crash into that corner.
Yeah, I think we need to evaluate that when we have the opportunity and maybe play that back. And I'm certainly will. I'm wondering, I'm theorizing that maybe he jumped out of the passenger side. That's why we didn't see him while it was rolling, and that's why it just kind of rolled into the bushes.
Because
but he was already on the run.
Exactly.
That would make a lot of sense, and it would explain the slow roll into that front yard.
Yeah.
And that would explain how he got so far far so quickly to begin with. In any event, there's now a police scene on that corner, which is one of the 4 corners of this block here, where the suspect is believed to be holed up. Again, we don't know that he's still here, but good reason to believe that he probably is not too far. In any event, you can see the LA County Sheriff's helicopter remains overhead, guiding units in here. There are more black and whites pulling into the area. They will start to encroach on that property here as they have more personnel in place. I think we've got some video ready to roll back, and we can actually see where he actually jumped out from. Stand by. We'll go ahead and rack that.
Yeah, we're running it right now. We see it, but it's, you know what, it's tough to see. And by the way, we only have a few seconds because we're going to quickly transition. In fact, let's do that. 2 breaking stories we're working on right now. One at Van Nuys Airport, one with this pursuit that is now in Southgate. We're going to be right back with more.
What?
Oh, hey there, darling, let me count on you. The road is long and I'm scared, but I must find.
Chat, what is the initial crime? Stolen vehicle again? Stolen. Welcome to our life. Okay.
xQc, could you please watch this Arabic commentary link?
This is what? It is